What is going on, man? So in this video, we're going to break down how to calculate your macros for any meal. So let's be real, tracking macros can be confusing as hell. And you download MyFitnessPal, you weigh out some chicken, and suddenly you're knee deep in numbers you don't even understand. Wait, am I supposed to cook the rice cooked or uncooked? And how the hell do people know exactly how much protein or carbs are even in your meals? I can tell you I've been there too. But once you understand how to calculate your macros, not just randomly plug numbers into an app, you can literally eat anything you want and still hit your goals. So in today's video, I'm breaking it all down step by step. How to find your daily calorie and macro targets, how to break those numbers into meals, how to calculate macros for any food, whether you're cooking, eating out, or grabbing something quick. And at the end, I'll give you a simple game plan you can start today to get instant results. So let's make this simple. Part one is understanding your macros. Macros are short for macronutrients, and they are just the nutrients your body needs in large amounts. The three macros are proteins, which builds and repairs your muscles, carbs, which gives your body energy, and then fats, which help with hormones, brain function, and joint health. So each macro actually has a specific calorie. So 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, 1 gram of carb is 4 calories, and then 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. That's it. Every food you eat is made up of a mix of those three. Understanding that is the key to building meals that actually fit your goals instead of just guessing. So part two is just finding your daily calorie goal. Now, before we get into the math, we need to figure out how many calories your body actually needs in a day, and that's called your TDEE, or your total daily energy expenditure. So you can use an online calculator like tdecalculator.net. You can go online, but I'll give you an easy shortcut right now. So if your goal is fat loss, I want you to multiply your body by 10 to 12. If your goal is maintenance, you're going to multiply it by 14 to 15. And if your goal is to muscle gain and build on weight, you're going to multiply it by 16 to 18. So for example, let's say you're 180 pounds and you want to lose fat. You're going to multiply 180 times 11, which is 1980 calories you're going to eat every single day. That's your starting calorie target. Simple as that. From there, we split those calories into macros. So now part three, actually setting your macros. Here's how I recommend splitting those calories up. So first off, protein, you want at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you're 180 pounds, at least 180 grams of protein. You can see these two photos here, super important. Skinny, fat, overweight, skinny does not matter. You need protein to build muscle. Then I would split fats to 25 to 30% of your total calories. So about 60 grams if you're 180 pounds, so 540 calories. I have a couple examples of some good fats and some bad fats. You can take a screenshot if you'd like. Then we got carbs. So whatever calories are left over is your carbs. So 180 grams, so about 720 calories if you're eating at the 180 pound weight for your daily calories. So just fill in the rest with carbohydrates. Try to keep it more on the healthy carbs, of course. So quick math check. So protein is 180 grams times 4, so 720 calories. Fats is about 60 grams times 9, so 540 calories. And then carbs is 180 grams times 4, which is 720 calories, giving you your total of 1980 calories, putting you at that calorie deficit. So your daily goal is 180 grams of protein, 180 grams of carbs, and then 60 grams of fat. These numbers are your blueprint. You don't need to hit them perfectly every day. Just stay within them about 5 to 10 grams of each if you can. And then part four is just breaking your macros into the meals you actually eat every day. So let's take that daily target and break it into actual meals. So say you eat 3 meals in a day and then 1 snack. Here's an example of how you could split it up. For breakfast, you could have about 40 grams of protein with 45 grams of carbs and 15 grams of fat. Here's an example here, eggs and oats power bowl. I got the ingredients for you and then the macros at the bottom, about 520 calories. You can fit that. Super good, super tasty, and will fill you up and get you energized for the day. Next, we got lunch. So about 40 grams of protein for lunch with 45 grams of carbs and then 15 grams of fat. We got a teriyaki beef and rice bowl. If you want any of these meals, just take a screenshot and you can use them. All the ingredients and macronutrients are there. And then we got dinner. So 60 grams of protein for dinner, 60 grams of carbs, and then 20 grams of fat. Here's a steak and sweet potato plate. All the ingredients are there again. Take a screenshot. It's going to help you out. And then lastly is the snack. 40 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of fat. A Greek yogurt protein bowl. Honestly, I love ending my night with a Greek yogurt protein bowl. Super good, super filling, and hits that sweet tooth for sure. So you don't have to hit those numbers exactly every meal. Think of it like a budget. As long as you hit your total for the day, you're good. But this gives you clear structure to aim for instead of just randomly guessing like you've probably been doing now. Part 5 is how to calculate macros for any meal that you actually eat. So now let's take all this and apply it to a real meal. For example, let's say we're making chicken, rice, and avocado, keeping it super simple. You got your healthy fats with avocado, the rice with your carbs, and then chicken with your protein. Step 1 is just weigh everything, ideally before cooking for accuracy. If you want, you can weigh it after. I weigh it after sometimes too. It's not a huge difference, but here's an example. So 150 grams of raw chicken breast, about 35 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, 200 grams of cooked white rice, 50 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein, and then 50 grams of avocado, 8 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs. And then adding all that up, that's going to give you about 39 grams of protein, 54 grams of carbs, and then 11 grams of fat. So your total calories, you do the 39 grams of protein times 4, like we said before. Each gram of protein, you multiply it by 4 is how many calories. The carbs, 54 times 4, and then the fats, 9 calories per gram of fat, so 11 equals 435 calories in total. And then you can plug all of that into MyFitnessPal, or My Net Diary is another great app as well, and it'll automatically keep track of your daily totals. The key is not perfection, it's just consistency building over time, and they'll get easier and you won't really have to use these apps so often. If you can get within, though, 5 to 10 grams plus or minus of your targets each day, your body will respond and realize. Bonus tip, if you eat out, search the restaurant's nutrition info online or estimate it based on similar meals in your tracking app. It's not about being perfect, it's just about being aware. Most of these restaurants, you can find it on the apps as well, or you can just ask them. Sometimes they have the macronutrients there for you and you can just plug it in. And then part 6 is common mistakes people probably make and that you're probably making right now. First off is not weighing your food properly. Eyeballing always leads to underestimating calories. I'm telling you, when I was in a deficit, I didn't really track at the start and I wasn't sure, so I just kind of guess and eat whatever throughout the day. And then I started tracking after a while because I wasn't seeing progress and realized that I wasn't eating in a deficit. And then forget cooking oils. You do not need cooking oils. 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 120 calories. It adds up fast. Try using butter if you can. Butter is great. Number 3, changing food brands often. Different brands have different nutrition facts. Pick consistent ones if possible. It's easier if you're eating the same thing for you instead of switching to all these different like rice brands, pasta brands, sauce brands, whatever. If you can stay consistent with it for a bit, stick with it, and then switch it up and then start tracking consistent with it so you get better at it. And number 4 is just thinking you need to track forever. You don't. Once you understand portions and patterns, you'll be able to eyeball meals easily and be able to still track it if you'd like as well. And then part 7 is this 3-step game plan you can start and implement today. Let's wrap this up with a simple 3-step game plan you can start today so you can start seeing instant results before 2026. So first step is figuring out your numbers. Use the calorie formula I gave you earlier. Multiply your body weight by 10 to 12 if you're cutting, or 16 to 18 if you're bulking. Write down your protein, carbs, and fat targets so you know every day what you should be eating. Step 2 is track 1 full day of eating. Don't change anything yet, just log what you already eat. This shows you where you actually are compared to your goals. Try tracking it for a day, then get consistent with a week, couple weeks, switch up the meals if you want, but try to stay consistent with it for a bit and you'll be able to understand. It'll get much easier over time. Step 3, adjust your next meal to fit your target. So if you're low on protein, add 1 more serving of chicken, Greek yogurt, or eggs, whatever source of protein you need. If you're high on carbs, cut back slightly on rice or bread or pasta, whatever. Small tweaks like this are what create fast changes in your body composition. Do this for just 7 days, and I guarantee you'll already start seeing progress, whether that's your weight dropping, your energy increasing, or your workouts just feeling stronger. You have to remember, though, consistency over perfection. Hit your numbers more often than not, and you will win and start seeing those consistent results that you're not seeing right now. So that's exactly how to calculate your macros for any meal and how to actually use them to see real results. If you learned something new, drop a like. It helps the channel a ton and it means a lot to me to keep making these videos. Comment macros if you actually want me to make a full day of eating video that hit these exact targets. But if you're tired of guessing, spinning your wheels, or promising yourself, I'll start after the holidays, don't wait for January to make a change. I've helped dozens of men dial in their nutrition and finally see their abs, their strength, and their confidence skyrocket, and you could be next. And if you want me to personally calculate your macros, build your plan, and make sure you start the new year ahead of everyone else, book a one-on-one call with me from the link in my description below. Thank you for watching. Now go build that meal plan and let's make it happen.